Yo, after we pick a date, after the ring and the cake, after the pastor says grace, after we bring your last few boxes of things to
21 minutes past the hour of 9 on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Good evening and welcome to Adult Conversations. My name is Sumtu Titilayo Ajama. Thank you all for joining me this evening, Monday, the 22nd of November, 2021. How are you? I hope your day has been good. I welcome you to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Here on Adult Conversations, you give all the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio runs every Monday through Thursday because we are here to break the culture of silence. On that note, if you have a story you want us to bring to the family of Adult Conversations, please send your story to 07000. Send your story along with your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. Again, 0703 175 6537. Remember to send your story along with your name and contact number. Tonight on Adult Conversations, a friend or not? A friend or not? My name is Bolu, 27 and a designer. My best friend recently got married and didn't inform me. I was surprised because we lived together throughout our years in the university. We never fought and still kept in touch after graduation. Should I confront her or pretend and move on with my life? Should I confront her or pretend and move on with my life? This is painful. Please advise me. Bully speaking tonight. She's 27. She's a designer by profession. Her best friend recently got married and didn't inform Bulu. Bully says she's surprised because they lived together throughout their years in the university. They never fought and still kept in touch after graduation. Bully says, should I confront her about it or pretend and move on with my life? She says, this is painful. Please advise me. The number to call to advise Bulu tonight is 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. Of course, you can send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now, please, when you call in, remember that you have to turn down the volume of your radio. Remember that you have to turn down the volume of your radio to avoid interference so that we can hear you properly. Thank you very much. Also, when you call in, ensure that you go straight to the point. Please, let's try not to talk too much before getting to the advice bit. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it constructive. Short, simple, constructive. Also, the group chat is open and accepting new members. So if you want to join the group chat, you can very much do that by sending a message with your name and contact number, a WhatsApp message with your name and contact number, indicating interest in joining the group, and you'll be added onto the group. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 917, at WFM 917. So you can watch and see what's happening in the studio. You can catch up with the story and leave your comments on Facebook and YouTube to be read on air. As always, we're taking messages off the Adult Conversations family group chat first before we open the phone lines. So this one is coming from Francis from Ibafu. Francis says, good evening to all the Adult Conversations family members. Happy New Week and compliments of the season. My advice for Bulu tonight is you don't need to confront her. That's human beings for you. It's not everyone that will tell you what they have in mind or what they want to do, but they are your close friends. Just pretend as if you did not hear anything and move on with your life. When you want to do your own, you can then inform her and see her reaction. Always be quick to hear, but slow to react. And that's from Francis from Ibafu. Cross from Magwari saying, "Hey Bolu, can I ask a question? Hope you're not the one thinking you guys are best friends. If you have an answer to this, then you can think of the next action to take." Daniel Ekong from Owode Oniri says, "Good evening, adult conversation family members. Happy weekend. Move on with your life. Pretend as if you didn't know. But if she calls to ask you, just say congratulations." And then from K2 says, "Bolu, move on with your life. Though you can't blame her because she may have been occupied with a lot of thinking and calculation that it had escaped her mind. But if you think she purposely did it, then you have to confront her to know why." That's from Ene from K2. Moses from Ikorodu says, "Evening, everyone. She's definitely a friend, but not your best friend. That begs the question, are you your best friend's best friend?" And that's from Moses from Ikorodu. The phone lines are open. You can call in and we can begin the conversation proper. Thank you very much to everyone who has sent in messages. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. You can also forward a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. How
Hello,
are
good
you?
evening. I'm very well. Thank you very much.
So, to baby girl,
Chief
beautiful
Akosi,
girl.
thank
Is
you
that
for
not
calling.
to?
Yes, thank you for calling.
Chief Akosi, you see, this is a beautiful topic. If I were to read a question,
Mm-hmm.
I would not even bother to come. I'll just tell my own. Maybe one day we'll meet on the way. If you didn't like me, maybe any day he meets me, call me, I'll pretend as if I don't know what is going on. But if he's able to explain, then definitely I will greet him warmly. For me, I see such a person as a kind of toxic relationship. You understand me? Well, if you we've been a friend for a long time, then you want to marry, I'm not informed. That means you are seeing me as if I'm nothing to you. So let me just be. One day before you know it, God will answer me as well. Okay, bye. Thank you, baby girl.
Thank you so much, Ifekosi. Okay, you heard that. And he's basically saying that he would be warm to the person if he's ever called for anything concerning their friendship, but he's not going to reach out to her to ask what the situation was, why she wasn't informed. And that's basically what he's advising Bolu to do tonight. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Okwe. I'm coming from Ibafo.
Okwe from Ibafo. Are you a first-time caller?
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller actually.
Okwe, thank you. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Now, quick one. For Bolu, this is what I'm going to advise her. You see, when I wanted to get married, I had a lot of friends. But I had a guy that happens to be my best friend. In fact, assuming on the normal ground, he was supposed to best me.
Okay.
Do you get it? But when we went to church, we were told, let the wedding be as low as possible. My wife happens to be the only child of my parents. You understand?
Yes.
So a lot of people were expecting a very big party. But not even all my family that I had to tell about the wedding. We only went to registry, and after registry, we just left it there. Just took the normal yam and everything to our parents' house. It was just me.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Go on, please.
It was just me, my wife, my parents, and my parents.
So it was not an elaborate wedding at all.
You understand? It was just all. It was just all.
Okay.
It was when we were now celebrating 1 year anniversary that we now give party. That they gave us message in church that we shouldn't do something big, and nobody should be aware. That we just do it. That after we have our baby, and then we can't do whatever. You understand?
Okay, so you're basically saying this is possible.
Yes, sometimes it's not that she does not want to tell her, but it might be a spiritual message. That it should be a locating.
And then she has to follow that because it's spiritual and it's personal to her. Okay. Okpa is basically saying that in his case, and thank you for sharing your experience with us, Okpa, I appreciate that. He's saying that in his case, he was actually given a warning from church, an advice, a warning from church saying that he should not publicize the wedding and the party, the wedding generally. He should not publicize it or tell too many people. So basically, he didn't tell anyone. He just had his wife's family, his family, and the people, all the exchange of gifts and dowry and all of that. All that happened. He even said they just went to court and they did all of that. The families met up and they just did something small and that was it. So they had to do the party after their first baby. And this was 1 year into their marriage, the 1 year anniversary celebration. And he's saying possibly, maybe this was what happened to Bolu's friend. So maybe she had to adhere to certain spiritual guidance that prohibited her from. Matthew, how are you today?
I'm good. Your day was fine.
My day was good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. Thank you for calling.
Quick one to this. I would want to advise Bolu to understand something.
Okay.
Oftentimes when we try to build our social life and it affects who we are, we need to be larger than the life itself. We don't take anything too personal, something like, oh, why didn't you tell me? I should have known. No, we need to understand it. Forgive people at every time, whatever they do, and you move on. The truth is this. You know, a lot of people will share their opinions on this, but when you don't experience some things yourself, you cannot. That's why it's very hard to advise people based on a particular matter because, oh, this is what I feel. No, sometimes it's larger than that. See, the truth is this. Someone just called in. It might be a spiritual message. And this is what you need to do for yourself, not for the person. Call to know why. And don't see things like, oh, I must be involved. Oh, she's my best friend. Why won't you tell me this is bad? No, don't do that. It's better sometimes you try to weigh things, how they come, and also have a very positive mind to say, okay, maybe because of this. Even reason for them before they even reason, before you even know. That, oh, perhaps this is what happened. Because if you start building it to say, oh, she didn't tell me, you will make many enemies of work. That's the truth. And you even consider people who don't even have bad intention about you, you don't even consider them as your enemy. So it's going to affect your own person.
So what do you advise her now? What do you advise her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She should have a mind to just forgive and call and why? What happened? You didn't tell me. Wow, like, no, you disappoint me. Then, you know, already that has to show you are forgiven. You know, I've experienced a lot like that. Okay. I have friends who have done that. I'll be like, really? Okay, no problem. When you give birth, believe me, I'm probably the first person you tell. And you know, they come back to say, oh, you have the great heart. Okay. So that's
Thank you very much, Matthew.
Actually.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. All right, keep the calls coming in. 07000 917 917. And you can text or WhatsApp 0703 175 6537. This is Still Adult Conversations.
I love all the music they play. It's the bomb, baby. The best, baby. We're bringing it to you live.
We're bringing it to you live.
Some people go just promise you berekete, but they go only fit give you bear. Some no go fit do pass bere. If they too try, some fit struggle give you bereke. But you see, Glow, they no go just give you berekete. They go even give you berekete plus join self.
Yes, so when new and existing Glow users enter Glow Bracket Plus Plus, they will begin enjoy 100 Naira MB bonus data on top every first recharge of the month, another 60 MB bonus on top every other recharge of the month, and another 400% call time bonus. And if you be new Glow subscriber and call, now 1,000 Naira bonus credits, then go first take knock you welcome on top all the recharge them. This one pass all four. Knock four. Every day na Christmas with Glow Bracket. Just dial star 777 hash or activate new Glow SIM. Make yourself fit get joy on top your unlimited value waiting for Glow Bracket Plus Plus. Glow, joy unlimited.
Radio Doctor on WFM 91.7 every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you medical experts specialized in women's health.
If you're a 28-day cycle person, just count forward on your day 14, you would ovulate.
Call in to get free consultation on women's health on 07000 917 917 and 090 256 25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM 917. Text and WhatsApp to 070 317 56537. You can listen live online on www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7.
Sports is taking off with a new flight on WFM with the fine voices of Macaulay and crew on Sports Radio. Flex with talk, business, and entertainment in women and men's sports. Enjoy hot takes in sports action, events, interviews, and fan discussions. Catch up with latest in rugby, basketball, cricket, athletics, golf, tennis, and other sports. Chill with Macaulay and crew from 7 to 8 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Saturdays. Real sports, real stories, real fun on Sports Radio.
Tax Radio. A Woman Radio 91.7. Mondays, Fridays
From 5:30 p.m.
with
FIRS.
Pays to Pay Your Tax.
Twenty minutes to 10. 20 minutes to 10 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Welcome back to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. And we're of Bolu. Bolu is saying, I'm 27, I'm a designer by profession. My best friend recently got married and didn't inform me. Now, I was surprised because we lived together throughout our years in the university. We never fought and still kept in touch after graduation. Should I confront her or pretend and move on with my life? Bully says, this is painful. Please advise me. And that's the story. So you can call in by dialing the number 07000 917 917. Again, 07000 917 917, or you can send in a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703, pardon me, 0703 175 6537, 0703 175 6537. Now, I have some particular questions that I think I need to ask in regards to this particular story. This whole concept of best friendship is one that is very popular, but at the same time, very, very, very unique. You can't call someone your best friend if you have any doubts that you're their best friend. So you need to be sure that you're your best friend's best friend. Or else you would view them as your best friend. You would tell them all the things that matter to you. You would take them places. You would carry them all through your life. And they would not reciprocate that gesture. They will not reciprocate those feelings at all, because to them, you're a good friend. they probably have their own best friend who they tell all these things. So some people might think, okay, your best friend can have their own best friend. You can have your own best friend. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the other person's best friend. But I dare to disagree. Because if you call me your best friend, I'm your best friend. Then all right, by all means. I'm very concerned by this because I've seen firsthand what the whole best friendship thing looks like and can be like, actually. Maybe not should be, but can be like. Now, the first question I'll ask is, when you were in school, did you share personal and vulnerable moments with this your best friend, Bolu? Or did you just have good times together? Now, there's a huge difference between both. If you never fought, I'm not even sure what kind of friends you are. If you never fought all through your 4 years in uni, you never fought. Now, maybe when you say fought, maybe you mean like physically. But I want to believe that you had arguments, you had quarrels, you had times that you weren't on speaking terms because you had a fight or had an argument that escalated into a complete disagreement and maybe slowly into keeping malice before you later resolved it. So, did you share personal and vulnerable moments with this person? Because those moments are the times that actually cement your friendship. When your best friend knows some things about you that nobody else knows. And when you know certain things about them that nobody else knows, and you keep each other's secrets, you fight for each other, you defend each other at every turn. These are the things that commemorate best friendship. Now, this is not to say that this person is not your best friend. As I said, in my opinion, best friends should be each other's best friends. But it's very possible that you could have had this person as your best friend, and she wasn't you, and you weren't her best friend. It's very possible. Now, did you share personal and vulnerable moments, or did you just have some good times that you shared together in university? Now, when you say you kept in touch, because you said this, and I quote, I was surprised because we lived together throughout our years in the university. We never fought in the university and still kept in touch after graduation. When you say you kept in touch, did you continue as best friends, as good friends, or as casual friends? Because sometimes right out of uni, you're still talking to this person every day. From every day, it goes down to like every week. From every week, it goes down to like every other week. From every other week, it goes down to like once a month. From once a month, it goes down to like, whenever I remember you, I remember you. And that's all the way down to casual friends. So how did you keep in touch with this person? What was the status of your keeping in touch? Were you keeping in touch as best friends, like people that talk probably every day? And then again, there's a dynamic to friendship that even if you don't talk every day, you can still catch up with the person as soon as you make a phone call through. So again, friendship is dynamic on a lot of levels, but it needs to be understood between both parties as what it is. Then how long ago did you find out that she got married? That's also important. How long ago did you find out? How did you find out that she got married? Maybe did you see pictures on social media? Were you told by a mutual friend of yours? How did you know that she got married? And how did you find out? Then how long ago was this? That's also an important question, because you're saying, should I confront her or pretend and move on? Now, if you're thinking about this enough to bring it to the radio, then that means it has spanned a little bit of time. It has spanned a little bit of time. So let us know how long ago was this, all right? So I'm asking all these questions just to get a general foundation of the type of friendship that Bolu and her best friend have. This is in no way invalidating the fact that Bolu calls this person her best friend. This is just helping us to see and give us some more context as regards this friendship. We need to know, we need to understand how the friendship works. And, when you say this is my best friend, let's know what it really means to you and what she possibly thinks it means to her. All right. The number is 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can also reach out by sending a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Now, if you've had a best friend before, you would know that it's not very easy keeping your best friend, particularly when you're not in the same place with them. You don't have lunch like you used, close classes around the same time, or you don't live together where you see this person every day and gossip with them and you let them know what's happening, you intimate them on the current details of your life, who you're seeing, what your boss is like, what your workplace is like, the challenges you're facing with money, with love life, all of that. Now, if you don't live with them, chances are that you will learn to deal with a lot of these things by yourself. And at the end of the day, you will need them less and less and less. Tying this into Bolu's story, if they started out keeping in touch after university as best friends, chances are that they drifted apart over time. They possibly drifted apart over time. And what drifting does is the more you stay away, the more the more you feel guilty for staying away. And the more you feel guilty for staying away, the more you feel like, okay, you should check in, but then you don't because you already feel bad that you didn't check in before. So if you've stayed away for 4 days and then the guilt starts to weigh in, like, oh, I didn't call this person. I didn't call this person. And now she'd be like, oh, I haven't called her in 4 days. So you don't call because you're feeling bad for not calling in 4 days. And then you move it to 5 days, to 7 days, to 8 days, to 10 days. And it keeps growing, it keeps growing, it keeps growing. And at the end of the day, it becomes worse as time goes on that you barely even check up on the person. Not because you don't care, because there's just so much that has happened and you've drifted apart. Okay, please try to call back when you can. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. Friendships are important in life. I do not know how people do it when they say that they don't have friends. And it's kind of shocking, actually. But best friendship, that's a whole other business. Hello, good evening. Hello? All right, call back if you can. Call back if you can. The number is still 07000 917 917. You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Now, looking at the messages that have come in from the Adult Conversations family, it is imperative to understand certain things. Bolu is asking, should she confront her friend, or she should just pretend and move on? Now, there's this thing that confronting somebody that has hurt you does to you. It gets it off your chest. It gets it off your chest. Now, depending on the dynamic of your friendship or relationship with the person you're talking to, you can now know how to resolve those things after confronting them. And I understand that confront can sound like a heavy word, but sometimes it just means talking about the subject. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going all official about it, like, oh, we need to talk. Bolu, I'm disheartened by the fact that you did not invite me to your wedding. Just like Matthew said, you can forgive them, sort it out in your heart. Know that, make excuses for them, according to Matthew. Matthew says, make excuses for them and just try your best to understand what their worst case scenario could possibly be. And then when you bring it up with them, it will come from a place of forgiveness, not from a place of accusation. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Adult Conversations. Tell me your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Magoro in Ogun State.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, the topic for the discussion actually contributed to. Can you please briefly summarize it again? I just returned to the station, so I could not pick before. I'm sorry.
No problem. Tell me your name, please.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I just want to know your name.
Oh, my name is the following name, Abutamia.
Okay, I still didn't get that, but okay. All right, let me give you a run through of the story. So Bolu is the person whose story we're profiling tonight. Bolu is 27. She is a designer by profession. Bolu is basically telling us that she is hurt because her friend did not let her know about her wedding. Her friend did not inform her that she was getting married. Bolu found out that she got married, and she feels bad because this friend is her best friend. It's not just any friend. This friend is her best friend. Bolu and this friend went to university together. They stayed in the same place in university, and they never fought. They kept in touch after graduation. So basically, Bolu is pained. She says this is painful and she needs advice because she feels that this person is her best friend, but didn't tell her about the wedding.
Okay, basically, Bolu is what? The message is missing that Bolu is what? Is it because she is not informed about the wedding or what?
Yes, that's why she's upset. Because she wasn't told about the wedding. She wasn't informed about it.
Okay, a friend is a female and Bolu is a female.
I don't know if her friend is a female. Her friend is a female, most definitely. Because she says that they lived together throughout their years in the university. So her friend is most likely a female, yes.
Okay, you may give me a few minutes to look into that affair before I contribute. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. No problem. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Nice to the call. Nice.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So Bolu is saying they lived together throughout their years in the university. And to a large extent, she says, we never fought and we still kept in touch after graduation. This, I believe, is put in this story to give you some context as regards their closeness while they were in school. Now, my question is, did this level of closeness still apply after graduation? Hello, good evening. Call back if you can. Call back if you can. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, Jikin Ben. How's your weekend?
Very well, too.
And your day today?
We bless God, yeah.
All right. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. Much ado about nothing.
I had to laugh when you opened with that.
That's right, my dear. Yeah, honestly. You see, there was a gentleman that called earlier. I was trying to allude to the fact that sometimes it is not because you don't regard your friend. There was a young man that complained to me bitterly. We are cousins anyway. He pointed to a particular guy that just got a job. Somehow he got rapid promotion and then he was given an official car. So he drove home, the guy drove home one day and apparently was like trying to show some people his new level. You understand?
Okay.
So this other guy felt bad and told me, Uncle, can you see this guy virtually entered every home except ours. My mother told me about this, and I'm just telling you this because my mother is not happy about it, and I'm not happy about it. I call him and say, come on. In the next 3 years or thereabout, you won't be thinking this way. You see, success has a way of shortness cause. By the time you get your own job and God blesses you, you buy your own car. The guy also will see you as someone who has come to the same level with him. And there won't be need for you to begin to complain, or your mother begin to complain that this guy has not come to show him his car. He doesn't owe you anything to come to show you this is the car I have. The only way you need to even things is to work hard. Pray, God bless you, so that by the time you buy yours, every one of you becomes to the same level. So back to Bolu, right?
Yes.
Into my dear. You see, let's look at this from another perspective. There was a question asked and nobody knows. And bearing in mind that something would have happened
that Bolu might not really know.
Mm.
So the mind of humans is only when somebody is clairvoyant or it tells God or somebody who is of higher spiritualism to know actually what the other person is thinking about. You might be regarding somebody as your best friend. Meanwhile, the person is not your best friend. That's number one. Number two, could it be that the guy heard something that the girl maybe have said concerning the impending marriage, which she kept to herself, and said, okay, I'm not going to tell you about this. That's two. The third one is this. I heard a young man that said he was warned in the church never to tell the public about what he was about to do. We live in Africa, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
The decision of this girl or this your friend to do a low-key stuff, I don't know whether it was a low-key or not involve you or to tell you, but not necessarily be because he doesn't want to tell you. But she just wanted to play safe. However, I expected you to have called and congratulated her and not to have kept quiet all this while. It's not so good. Show her that you have a good heart. Show her that you don't have any grudge. Show her that you are not offended. However, you are not happy. You are not involved and they never told you. If she has any reason for doing that, she's going to tell you, this is why I did that. And I'm sure she's going to also tell you, I am sorry. That's on the other side. Another side I want to look at this is, you see, when you look at friends, especially somebody you consider as not too important, perhaps, okay, levels don't they change. And this person now has a badge, what they call MRS, that's Mrs. And she's now seeing herself as somebody who is not in your class. And the level of your relation, the level of your conversation and the way you relate with each other, don't they change? So at a point, she could see herself as somebody who does not belong to your class. I don't know how that has offended you. We are all human. If that has offended you, yes, it is not wrong. But I need you to go beyond this. How do you do that? Call her. Tell her, congratulations first. But you never heard. Then listen to her. Let her come up with explanations why she never, told you from the onset that this is what was happening.
Thank you, Deacon Ben.
Yes, if that happens, please forgive her and you should, continue your friendship.
Thank
That's
you
my
so
advice.
much.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. Okay, so he's saying that there could be a ton of reasons why you went told, from spiritual guidance to just being safe to all sorts of different things that could be responsible for why Bolu wasn't told about her friend's upcoming wedding. But he's saying that now that you've heard about it, he believes that for you to prove that you have a good heart and you have them, and as you do that, she possibly would tell you why she didn't tell you about the wedding. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Your network is not very good. Kindly call back, please. Thank you. Okay, please, you have to have good network when you're calling so that we can hear you. You also have to have enough airtime on your phone so that you do not get cut off in the middle of conversation. Also, make sure that you keep it short, keep it simple, and keep it constructive. I plead with us. Please let us keep our advice short, simple, and constructive. Thank you very much. 2 minutes past the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. This is Adult Conversations, where we share real-life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama, and tonight we're profiling Bolu Atife's story. Bolu's story, actually. Bolu is saying that her best friend from university days did not inform her that she was getting married. She found out about it, and she is pained. She's very hurt about the fact that she wasn't told. And she's asking, should I confront her or should I just pretend and move on? Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Please call back. Please call back. This whole best friend thing, it can be really easy with one person or with one set of friends and quite complicated with another set of friends. By complicated, I do not necessarily mean anything bad. I just mean that there's some best friends who do not communicate every day. There's some best friends who don't know all the details about their individual lives on a day-to-day basis because they don't speak every day. But as soon as a phone call is exchanged, everything from the last year that they spoke up until the day before the day they're speaking, everything comes out into the open. They share each other's pain, they grieve, they cry, they mourn, they talk about everything. They're excited for each other because they've caught up and they know that these are the new details that are going on in each other's lives. So again, it could be really simple, it could be different and complicated, relatively complicated, depending on the dynamic of the friendship. Now, if you are the kind of friend that you didn't used to speak on a day-to-day basis, and then somehow you were not told about the wedding, chances are that she was going to tell you, but as somebody said earlier, it's completely skipped her mind. Dickenbed made another point earlier saying that it's possible that she had heard something about you or something about your reaction to hearing that she was going to get married, and that prompted her to not tell you when the wedding was around the corner because she felt you were just not as happy as you should be, or saying something along that line, something along those lines. And maybe she felt safer not telling you about it. There's also personal reason there. That's personal for her. But again, she may not have told you about this. And there's also the fact that you're human. And we all need to consider that. As much as we're saying move on, don't confront her, or even if you confront her, don't make it sound like a big deal. This person is human. Everyone reacts to things differently. Some people are great at forgiving. They're great at, they'll even forgive you for the one you've not done yet. They'll forgive you down for the one that you will offend in future. Why? Because they know that they are just, that everyone is human and they are very indifferent about certain things, and they don't, in quotes, like Nigerians would say, they don't hold the world tight to their chest. What do I mean? What I'm trying to say is these kind of people let things go very easily. So even before you offend them, they most likely have let it go already. They don't take things too personally or hold them in such high regard that it begins to affect the way they feel. But this person says something. Bolu said specifically, she said, this is painful. That's what she said. She said, this is painful, meaning that she is seriously hurt by this. Now, for Bolu to be this level of hurt by this as she is, this tells you that she really did think that this person was her best friend. Like, she really considered this person to be her best friend, somebody that they most likely would have shared information about the bridal shower. If or not they were going to do that, this is the person that should have planned it. This is the person that should have been able to be her maid of honor or her chief bridesmaid. This is the person that should have been the person running around on the day trying to make sure that everything was perfect. This is the person that should have met her family, trying to establish a relationship with them so that on the day things are smooth. This is the person that could have gone on errands with her before the wedding. This is the person that could have smoothed the transition from Miss to Mrs. for her. And that didn't happen at the end of the day. So Bolu is really hurt. I'm sure she's not just hurt, or I believe that she's not just hurt at the fact that she wasn't told, but the fact that she missed all of the moments leading towards the wedding that she could have assisted with, that she could have been a part of this person, that could have intensified further the bond that they have as best friends. And all that is gone because she wasn't told about the wedding. I would really still like to know how she found out about it, because what she says here is my best friend recently got married and didn't inform me. What this means is she found out about the marriage somehow, but she wasn't told about it. She wasn't told about it, but she found out about it somehow. And I would like to know what that somehow is. How did you find out about it? I would really, really love to know. So it's a very slippery slope, the whole best friend thing. But a lot of times it helps when you know where both of you stand in the best friend spectrum. Are you your best friend's best friend? Good question. All right, going on to Facebook. I'll take some comments off of Facebook and then we can go back to the phone lines. This one is coming from Ajao Babatunde. He says, it means that she doesn't feel that your presence was necessary and could be as a result of a lifestyle status which might have changed from yours. To clear your mind, put a call across to her and let it go. Uluwagbemega Joshua Babalowedo says, if I were you, I would keep mute. Don't confront her. If you do and something contrary happens to her, you will be held responsible. It has happened to me before, and that's what I did till today. What she's facing in her marriage, she can't tell me. Please, if you're married, face your marriage. If not, pray for your own man and invite her on your wedding day. Erico Victor Abodorin says, she has reason for her action. Continue your friendship with her with caution and pretend to know nothing about her marital status. All right, this one is from Okereke Tochukwu Nelson John. He says, someone like me, if you did any event or ceremony without me knowing and I got to know, I don't disturb myself. All I do is send you a text congratulating you either on social media or via SMS. I move on. No time for bad energy. All right, thank you very much. Oluwafemi Adegoke says, I have a friend who will never for once tell you his next plan. I lived without him telling me his next plan. If his next plan means no harm to me, I'm good with whatever he does. Move on, girl. Don't be hurt by what happened. When the time is right for her to tell you, just by saying, I know. I'm sure she'll be shocked, and if the friendship is up for breakup, then so be it and move on. Benjaz is saying, what you need is to confront her. She never saw you as a friend, not to talk of best friends, sleeping and info. Then you should know your place in her life. Ojuyemi Olayenka Zoltanera says, it can be painful anyway, but move on with your life and don't bother to confront her. WF Holy Gem says, sometimes the moon appears in daytime, so life is full of surprises. It's not bad you being who you are. And that's from Facebook. Those are the comments of a Facebook. Kindly keep them coming in. And also you can keep your calls and text and WhatsApp messages coming in as well. The number to call is 07000 917 917 07000 917 917, or you can send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 11 minutes past the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. Has this been your situation before? Let us know. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Victor.
Your name is Victor.
Yes.
Victor.
Victor.
Victory.
Yes.
All right. Victory, where are you calling from?
From Ketsu.
Victory from Ketsu. Are you a first-time caller?
No.
Awesome. Thank you for calling again tonight. All right, Victory, what's your comment? What's your advice?
I talk for issue of the relationship. That you said you are going to make a cancel relationship for people that are not in a relationship.
Yes, I said so.
So since then, I've not had this week.
Victory.
Yes?
What I said was that when the program is ready to go on air, when it's ready to start, I will announce it on Adult Conversations. If I haven't announced it yet, what that means is the program is not ready to go on yet. The program is not ready to begin yet. It's still being packaged. It's still being put together. It's not ready yet. So I appeal to you to just be patient. Just be more patient, please. All right? Thank you so much. Okay. 13 minutes past the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. This is Adult Conversations because here we're discussing real life issues and matters relating to the heart. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama, and we're profiling Bolu's story tonight. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? Okay, now I'm throwing this out to people who have been in best friend relationships before. Best friendships. Oh, it's so complicated. Who says best friend relationships? You understand what I mean. I believe you understand what I mean. But if you don't, this is what I'm trying to say. If you've had a best friend, if you've been in this best friendship before and you understand what this means, what Bolu is going through now, call us so we can get some more context into how she's feeling and also give her some advice based on the fact that you know how it works. You have experience in being best friends with someone. Kindly call back. Also, if you are the best friend or if you're just a friend, you don't even have to be the person's best friend. If you're a friend that got married and didn't tell some of their close friends or some of their best friends about it, let us know why you took that particular decision and how you overcame that, you know. Are you still friends with this person or these people that you didn't tell you were getting married? And if you are, let us know how that happened. Did they confront you? Did you finally just open up and tell them about it? Or how did it happen? This is Bolu's reality at the moment. And I would so much enjoin us not to take it lightly. Let us give advice. Let us give good advice so that Bolu can know exactly what to do and take a healthy decision for herself at the end of the day. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name or where are you calling from?
I'm calling from, my name is I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, I need you to be more audible, please. I need you to be louder.
I said, calling from,
I really can't hear you. Turn down the volume of your radio. Turn down the volume of your radio for me. Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Okay, very important when you call in. Turn down the volume of your radio. Very important. Did you hear that? All that feedback, we want to do away completely with it. We know that nobody's perfect, so chances are that you will still make that mistake over time. But the more we say it, particularly when you're being told over the course of your call, please try to adhere to that. All right? Turn down the volume of your radio. Very important, please. Thank you. Okay. Confronting her friend. Is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? Is it okay to be brought up in conversation and to be like, oh, you didn't tell me that you were getting married. I feel bad. I feel hurt. I thought we were past this. I thought we knew each other better. I didn't see this coming. I was completely blindsided and I didn't know that you were getting married. And then you make a whole fuss about it. That's not a good idea now, is it? How does she go about confronting her best friend if she needs to do that? Now, I'm asking this question because at the end of the day, Bolu would take the decision that works for her. If we think that confronting her is better, she possibly would take not confronting her. And if we think if we think not confronting her is better, she possibly would decide to confront her. So I would like to look at it from these two perspectives and then give her the best advice in each individual perspective. For instance, if you advise Bolu to confront her best friend about it, how should she go about it? How should she go about confronting her in a way that it doesn't sever completely their friendship, in a way that it doesn't give off Bolu as being entitled to know certain things and all of that? How is the best way to confront her if that's your advice? If you're saying not to confront her, if Bolu is the kind of person that if she doesn't get things off her chest, if she doesn't talk about it, she's the kind of person that builds up resentment over time. If she's that kind of person, will you still say she should move on and just act like it didn't happen? Because in that case, if she's the type of person that internalizes things a lot, she's a little bit of an overthinker, she is just particular about just putting things together, trying to dissect the whole thing, and at the end of the day, she comes to a conclusion that's not very good. And she's like, oh, okay, so this is where I am in these people's lives. And then she's going all that route. Then at the end of the day, it's confusing. It's completely confusing. So it's important that we know that if we're saying don't talk about it, we need to say how she needs to move on without talking about it. If we're saying confront her and talk about it, we need to know what the best way to talk about it without causing any further rifts is. It's very important. It's very important. Now, Bolu is in a tricky situation because she thinks that her best friend just doesn't care enough. And if you've ever been in this situation, you will be able to relate. You would perfectly be able to relate. It just seems like, the person you used to do everything with, the person you used to tell everything to, suddenly doesn't particularly want to hear from you or want to have anything to do with you. At the end of the day, this whole best friend thing is serious, but it's also dynamic. It's serious because when two people take each other seriously at that point as best friends, that means they stand up for each other, they defend each other, they don't care what the world says. Even if they crash and they decide to scold each other, they'll do it in private, but before the world, they will take their side, they will defend the other person. There's just so much going on in best friend relationships that drifting apart can change. I landed on this note because when you've had so much going on with this one person that's your best friend, you've lived together, you've shared real life experiences together, you've been through a lot and all of that, then at the end of the day, you realize, oh, they're not as close as they were with you anymore. Then you slowly start to, pardon me, you slowly start to drift apart. And as much as this is not good for your friendship on the long term, it also gives you room to be able to, breathe a little bit. Not saying that being your best friend is a chore, but sometimes you need to be able to think by yourself, make decisions by yourself without necessarily running it by anyone. So there are a number of reasons, according to our callers, a number of reasons why Bolu's best friend may not have told her about this. The number to call 07000 917 917. That's the number to call in to give Bolu some advice tonight. 07000 917 917. Or you can send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Now, in the course of friendships, as much as people grow apart, sometimes some particular moments bring you closer and stronger together. For instance, a wedding. A wedding is almost like the best time to prove how close you are to someone and how important they are to you. Because you go out of your way to do so many things, sometimes even use your own money to do certain things. And at the end of the day, this person will look at you and really appreciate it and let you know how much they appreciate it because you really have gone above and beyond for them. So it's saddening when at the end of the day, somebody who you call your best friend, who you know you would have dropped everything for, does not tell you about their wedding. Now, Bully is asking, should I confront her or just move on with my life? Okay. Please try to call back if you can. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. Please keep trying. You can send a text or a WhatsApp message as well to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. I really would like to hear from people who have been through this before. If you've had a best friend and this happened, they didn't tell you about their wedding, and I just want to know how you are going to feel about it. How are you going to feel, and what would the best thing to do from you be? What's like the first best, the first thing that you do for your best friend when you find out? And that's basically what Bolu is asking. She's saying, should I confront her or should I move on with her life? With my life rather. Now, moving on with your life on some level is what's the word now? It's it's relieving. It's relieving because on some level you don't know all the details and you don't particularly care as much as long as they are good, they are fine, they're okay, everything went well, you're okay too. But for some people, it's important to them that they are in every stage of that because it feels like they're closer to you at that point. So what do you think she should do? Confront or pretend and just move on? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Emeka and I'm calling from Mowe.
Emeka?
Yeah, and I'm calling from Mowe.
Emeka from Mowe. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. All right, so what's your advice to Bolu this evening, Emeka?
To Bolu, I've been listening to a series of people that have been talking and they have been talking well.
Okay.
My advice to Bolu is just very simple and short. Actually, I've been in a state which she used before, but mine wasn't wedding. Actually, I moved away from my best friend's place for a while, and I went to like have a new skills and then. But to my biggest surprise, he don't call, he don't do anything. But anytime I call, he apologize, I'm sorry and all of that, blah blah blah. But I find out that distance caused all these kind of issues. But I want to bring down one point. Actually, if this girl, she's saying that this girl is her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there?
Yes.
She's saying this girl is her best friend. For how long? Is it that they met in the university or right from primary school or secondary school? Because in this Nigeria that we are, there's no best friend that you ever have that your parents don't know about. Because you get to bring her home one way or the other. So if you do not tell her, your mom will just like, what's about your best friend? Are you not telling her to come for the wedding or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's to show that she's not really your best friend. So my advice to her, she should just try to call her and know what's up. And I'm very sure she's going to leave it out.
Okay. Thank you very much, Emeka. Thank you for calling.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay, so Emeka is basically saying call her and talk about it. He's saying the reason he's saying call her to talk about it is because there could be a vast number of reasons why you weren't told about the wedding. It's possible that, it was based on a lot of things. It's possible that she wanted to tell you, but could not get around to telling you because she just couldn't. because she just couldn't, and maybe because there were. I'm basically saying there could be anything. It really could be anything as regards the reason why you weren't told about the wedding. So Emeka is just saying, forgive them, call them, congratulate them, and move on. And that's it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too personally. Just move on. Now, is that your train of thought as well? Do you also think she should move on and not address it? Or do you think she should move on, but she should talk to her about it first? Is it important to know why? So I even need to ask us that. Is it important to know why she was why Bolu wasn't told? Is it important? Is it better off to just move on and just continue? Though we've acknowledged what has happened, but we just move on. All right. This is 28 minutes past 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. You can call me, Sumto Titilayo Ajama. The line to call tonight is 07000 917 917. That's the number to call if you want to give advice to Bolu, whose story we're profiling tonight. 07000 917 917. And you can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
I would like to share, for the purpose of my opinion, I use the name Mr. L. Transit. I'm coming from Ikondo. Just going on.
Thank you, Mr. L. Go on.
Yes, please. First thing to ask is, I joined the conversation not long ago, so I would just like to know, was Bolu the only one who wasn't told, or all other friends were not told? Because I have a similar thing that happened. You share that.
Okay, so we can't answer that. We don't really know. Okay. We don't know because that wasn't included in the story. But let me hear what you think, because you said something like that has happened to you.
Yeah, it happened to me recently. A friend of mine that we do similar work, so we share other friends together. So our apprentice that work with both of us on different occasions told me a week a particular event that he's coming to collect my. I'm a photographer. So he's coming to collect my. I was like, okay, no problem. He said yes, that he has a job. That this my other partner that we work together. His brother is getting married. I'm like, his brother is getting married. Really? He's like, yes. Hasn't he told me? I was like, no, he didn't tell me anything. I was like, okay. I thought it was just perhaps he forgot. That was what quite said.
Perhaps he forgot, and maybe he will still tell me.
That.
I said maybe you thought perhaps he forgot, and maybe he will still tell you.
Yes, exactly. So the week in between the event, about 3 days to the event, was my own wedding anniversary. So he chatted me that congratulations, like happy wedding anniversary and all. That yes, that so person is coming to pick up my camera, and and I was like, that for a wedding, his brother's wedding. I was like, your brother's wedding, well? He told me last week. He hasn't told me. I said, no, you did not tell me. I was like, he forgot his oversight. And would you believe that I saw pictures of the wedding? All our friends that we shared together were there with their wives. And they all took up, and I was like, at that point, I just laughed. So my advice to Bolu is that it happens with life. Certain times, people don't even want you. You think you're friend with people, but you are not they are your best friend, but you are not their best friend. They have other friends. So oftentimes, let's just question who we consider our best friend. If in return, we are their friends. So much.
Thank you, Mr. L. Good question he asked. Very, very valid question. is this just you that wasn't told? Is it just you that wasn't told? Or you and your other friends? Do you know of any other friends that weren't told, or was it just you? Very important question. And the reason this is important is because if everybody else was told, but you weren't told, then there's even something more to worry about. There's even something more to worry about. And Mr. L shared some of his experience as well as regards this story, knowing that something like this has happened to him. He shared with us some of the experience. But, in my opinion, experiences also vary. Experiences also vary. But the focal point here is somebody wasn't told about somebody's wedding, and this somebody happens to be your best friend. So is it better not to confront them for peace sake in the future? Or is it better to put everything out there? If we go fight, we fight. If we go fight, we fight. If we're not fighting, then talk about it like civilized people and then we resolve it, But I feel like on some level, and kind of just reason with me, work with me. On some level, if she confronts her and she hears something along the lines, and Boli hears something along the lines of, oh, I just didn't want you there, that would be a huge blow. That would be a huge blow because this is somebody that you think is your best friend. See, this is why that question of are you your best friend's best friend keeps coming up. Very important. So it's just understandable to understand. It's understandable to know that this person is feeling this way for this reason. Boli is feeling this way because she's hurt that her best friend, let me keep adding that, her best friend did not deem it fit to inform her for the wedding. Now, somebody said earlier that, oh, let it go. But when it's your turn, involve her. When it's your turn, you can send a message to her or just acknowledge that, that you're getting married and you want her to be there. And then that might be a good time to bring it up and say, oh, but you didn't invite me for yours. So there are all these different schools of thought, but the most part for me would be what comes next with Bolu in this situation. Does she stay friends with this person even though they didn't let her know about the wedding? Or does she not stay friends with them just to let it completely out of her mind? Or should she confront them but without making a big deal out of it, without taking it too seriously? And if that's the case, if she doesn't take it seriously, is it not possible that the friend that she's telling that, you didn't tell me about your wedding, now until may not treat it seriously? She might just be like, my dear, but I'm married now, or without necessarily offering any reason why she wasn't told that she was going to get married. So I don't want to talk too much. I really just want to hear from you. 25 minutes to 11 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. We're profiling the story of Bolu tonight. Now, Bolu's story goes thus. My name is Bolu, 27, and a designer. My best friend recently got married and didn't inform me. I was surprised because we lived together throughout our years in the university. We never fought and still kept in touch after graduation. Should I confront her or pretend and move on with my life? This is painful. Please advise me. And that's the story from Bolu tonight. She needs advice. She needs to know what to do. She needs to know if there's a future in this friendship. Because as much as we do not want to talk about it, it's also worth mentioning the fact that your best friend might not necessarily be you being somebody's best friend might not necessarily make them your best friend. That's where I'm going. Might not necessarily make them your best friend. 07000 917 917, or you can send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537, 0703 175 6537. 3. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, ma'am. My name is Salome. Just calling from Ikorodu.
Ikorodu. Tell me your name again, please.
Salome. Salome.
Okay, Miss Salome from Ikorodu. Thank you. Are you calling for the first time?
No, I used to call, but it's not regular.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling this evening. All right. So what is your advice for Bolu? What do you think she should do?
My advice to her, something like this happened to me too. Because there is one of my friends that we school together. So when I have a boyfriend, if I tell her any serious relationship that I have, she will go behind me and go and be pointing me to that my boyfriend. So she normally do it as later heard about it. So the last time when I got wedding, I did not even involve. I didn't tell her anything. The husband that I marry now, I did not even tell her anything about it till after our wedding. So it may be something wrong. Maybe, or I don't know. Before our friend refused to tell her, maybe there is something wrong because it happened to
me. Okay. So what are you basically saying?
My own
what are you basically saying Bolu should do? Salome, thank you for calling. I think what she was basically trying to say is it has happened to her before, and for different reasons, it might be better for Bolu to just lock up and, if possible, ask later on why she wasn't told about the wedding. Why she wasn't told about the wedding. All right, this is a message from Ijoma from Ikorodu. Ijoma says, good evening. I've been in this kind of situation before. My best friend got engaged and I got to find out only on her WhatsApp status. Initially, I decided to keep mute, but I started having resentment towards my best friend until she gave birth and repeated the same thing. I got to find out about her birth on her status too. And that's when we talked. I texted her on WhatsApp, though, because I'm a very tempered person. So I didn't call, so I don't talk out of line. She gave me reasons and we settled it. And that's from Ijoma from Ikorodu. And this goes back to communication. We always talk about this here. If you can talk to somebody about something, then open up to them and let them know what the situation is so that people don't take things too seriously or be upset about things in the way it happens and how it plays out at the end of the day. Okay? So this one is coming from CV from Ikorodu. CV says, good evening. Bolu should move on with her life. If her so-called best friend really liked her, she would have told her about the wedding no matter what. My advice to Bolu is that she should look away. No need confronting her so-called friend. And that's from CV from Ikorodu. All right. We are winding down slowly to the end of the conversation today, but I'm really hoping that we can take some more calls. And if we can, it's awesome to weigh in on the subject a little bit more. This is basically Bolu complaining bitterly about the fact that her best friend didn't tell her that she got married. If it were you, will you be upset? And if you be upset, do you think it's better to express that feeling of being upset through a phone call by confronting her or not talking about it at all? Hello, good evening. Please try to call back. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, my name is Hazan calling from Ileko area, Blairburn.
Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, my name is Hazan calling from Ileko area.
Okay, Hazan from Ileko area. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes, the first-time caller, please.
Thank you, Hazan. Thank you for joining Adult Conversations this evening. All right, please go ahead.
I have been listening to the program, but as for Bolu, if really that friend in question is the best friend, the best thing is to ask her, is to call. You mean, if you are best friend, you shouldn't be left out from the concept. No, but sometimes it depends. what they discuss as friends. But sometimes some girls, some friends are not. They don't believe in marriage. So maybe it depends on what they are discussing. It's okay when he does have an opportunity to marry. It's okay. The best thing is not to relate to this girl. So I think the best thing is to ask her friend what really went wrong.
So she should confront her, basically.
Yes, you should confront his friend. I mean, her friend.
What if she doesn't like what she hears? What if she doesn't like what the response is? At least she wouldn't. Even if she doesn't like what the response is, she should still still reach out, though.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's the best thing.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Clear the air is what he says. Very important point right there. He says to clear the air. And he also mentioned that it's just better off to talk about it. You know, talk about it, get it off your chest, hear what the other person has to say, and make the best decision for you and for your friend at the end of the day. But more for you, because you're the one who decides whether you want to keep this person as a friend, regardless of how they've made you feel. But it also helps that you talk about it so that they can possibly explain why they have gotten why we are where we are, basically. You know, why Bolu wasn't told, and etc. etc. Okay, as I said, slowly but surely we're wrapping up adult conversations today. But it is so important that we understand how this person is feeling. You know, we understand how they're feeling, we understand what the situation is and how we can help them. So the best way to do that is to call in and give advice. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. Or you can send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Okay. Now there's some messages of Facebook that got me thinking that maybe you have a good point. Now, somebody mentioned this earlier. I think this was Dickin Ben, who says it means that she doesn't feel that your presence was necessary and could be as a result of her lifestyle status, which might have changed from yours. Now, Dickin Ben made the point of saying that sometimes when people go from Miss to Mrs., they carry all this 50-50 shoulder pad up. And at the end of the day, they're taking life like extremely seriously and all of that. And if you're not in that circle as somebody who is married, it might be hard to just really let you into the details of your marriage, because the other person may feel that's Bolu now. I mean, that's her best friend now, rather, may feel like, oh, Bolu doesn't really know much about like weddings and what to do and all of that. So maybe I should just give this job to somebody else and, you know, and take it from there. But the lifestyle change part is where I want to point out. Is it possible that Bolu's best friend, did not tell her about the program? And by program, I mean the fact that they've moved from Miss to Mrs. Is it that Bolu's friend did not go through that process properly? And by that, I mean when Bolu's friend was going to get married, did Bolu make any mention of, oh, you people that are getting married, or you will be getting married soon? Even though she may not have known that her friend was getting married, was there any mention anywhere that, oh, it doesn't matter whether you're married or one thing, I'll still be relating to you this way. I'll still be giving you advice. You'll still be telling me everything that goes on with you in your marriage. I'll still be giving you single gist and all the things that are going on in my life and all of that. Like I said, it's possible that she may have heard something that pointed out to the fact that she didn't want to keep going with that after she got married, which is why she possibly did not tell Bolu that she's getting married. Also, sometimes married people have a hard time staying friends with single people, because they feel like, okay, now I cannot tell you everything going on in my marriage because marriage is supposed to be me and my partner. But at the same time, I don't want to hear all your escapades with you being single and everything. So there's that contradiction as per, okay, do you understand where I am now? And a bit confusing. But at the end of the day, I believe that friends should be able to stick it out. They should be able to know what is what, particularly when you say this is somebody that you've been friends for a really long time. Now, there was also the point about resentment. Now, that's a very important point. I'm trying to locate that particular message. But the point here that the person was trying to make was, if you pretend to be okay with it and you start building resentment over time, would that be a better option? Would it not have been better to talk about it and to address it rather than leave it to build up all this resentment? And at the end of the day, you look like a completely different person. 12 minutes to 11. Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. If you're just joining, welcome to Adult Conversations. Tonight, we're profiling the story of Bolu. Bolu Atife. Bolu is now, okay, I know somebody who's called Bolu Atife, so maybe that's why when I'm reading these messages, when I'm reading the story, the only person I can think of right now is the person that I know that is bearing that name. But the story here actually is just Bolu, not Bolu Atife. But I believe that that's the full name anyway. So Bolu here is 27, a designer. Bolu says her best friend recently got married and didn't inform her. She says, I was surprised because we lived together throughout our years in the university. We never fought and still kept in touch after graduation. Should I confront her or pretend and move on with my life? This is painful. Please advise me. So that's the story. That's the story. You can call in to give Bolu some advice. You know, as we wind up, just call in to give Bolu some advice. 07000 917 917. Again, 07000 917 917. All right. So the text line is 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. So best friendships. Now this is new terrain for me. I've never really had like a best friend and all of that, but I believe to the best of my knowledge that best friends usually spend a lot of time together. They usually share a lot of their individual and collective experiences, so it helps to know if this person that you're calling your best friend does the same things for you, just so that things can move on swiftly. So that things can, when you feel like you know this person, you've committed to this person's life on some little level or another, and the person never calls to acknowledge you or make you feel that you're doing a good job and all of that. So that can get very tiring. Okay, this is 9. You think that this person is really close to you. They would have met your friends, your family, and they would have felt so much at home with them. If this is kind of person you call your best friend, will it be easy to just pretend and move on? Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio, please. All right, I can hear you better now. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Oliver.
Mr. Oliver, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lekki. I know by now you're supposed to know me.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for calling. I hope you had a good day today.
Thank God, no. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. So what's your advice to Bolu?
I came in late for the work.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has a life. I understand completely. Thank you very much for still calling in.
Welcome. I don't think there is issue there for me. The way I understand the issue, the matter. Yes, this is what we're about best friends, knowing yourself for so many years. Which is, for me, I don't like the way Bolu take it. It's not like
their friend anymore. That is their friend. They are now more than friend, like a sister, which is something not supposed to be hid from anyone. But it is obvious that this is a free world. The best friend you think that you are still with you can choose another life to live tomorrow. So I don't see big thing over there. For my own understanding is this is not what you forgot, because a friend that you live many years just like a brother or sister to you, which is whatever that goes on in your life, you know, he will know or she will know. So automatically he knows what he's doing. If I may advise always, let her just go on. If her friends come back with her senses, then she will bring out why she decided to keep her out of this. Because this is the most important thing in life, that she feel bad about it, because she believes that she will celebrate with her, that she's happy with her, not knowing that the young lady in question has another thing with her in mind. So I would advise her not to ask her and wait for the very day, because I believe one day the lady will come back and confess herself to her.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Oliver. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
All right. I believe that was our last call for today on Adult Conversations. Mr. Oliver is saying, don't confront her. He knows that it can be hard. He knows that it can be difficult, but he's saying, don't confront her. Just give her some time. Hopefully, over time, she would realize your friendship and reach out to you. And then from there, you can further explain what happened. But he's saying there is no need to confront her. Different schools of thoughts on this particular subject tonight. Confront or not. Confront her, on one hand, is being said as regards not a potential problematic confrontation, but basically to just understand why you weren't being told. It's also important that we know that even this context of conversation is about, it's also hinged on the fact that you must have forgiven this person already. So you are hurt, yes, that has been acknowledged, but you must have forgiven them for not talking to you about it, for not letting you know. So that when you're asking them like, now, wow, you didn't even reach out to let me know that you're getting married, they also understand that it is not coming from any bad place, that you genuinely are not happy that you were not told, but you forgive them and you've moved on. You know, some other people are saying, don't bother telling her. No, don't bother confronting her, rather. Keep it to yourself, deal with it yourself, because there could be a million and one reasons as to why you weren't told, as long as you wish them the best and you desire the best things for them. So these are many more schools of thought, but I hope that Bolu will be able to take an informed decision tonight. Let me take this last message from David from Ijoko. It says, it happened to me not quite long ago. Bolu, life goes on, but I didn't flare up at all because I believe that that's his level of maturity. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so this particular message is from Twin. Twin says, when certain things happen in life, they are meant to prepare us for the future, and we must learn from them in order to get better. My dear Bolu, I know you've been hurt for not being told about your so-called best friend's wedding, but frankly speaking, she doesn't owe you anything regarding her life or her plans for the future. Okay, so this message is quite long. So if I may ask, what do you intend to achieve from the confrontation if you do go ahead with it? Do you think that will make you to feel better or even become best of friends again? The truth is, things can change and people become strange, and that's life for you. Whether we like it or not, those whom we consider our best friends may not consider us to be their best friends after all. A friendship is like a pendulum. It can swing away from us when we least expect it. And that is one eventuality we must always be prepared for at all times. And that's from Tony. That's a really deep message. So, Tony, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to everyone who has called, messaged, sent a text, contributed in one form or the other for tonight's adult conversations. I appreciate you. And I'm sure that Bolu will be able to take an informed decision based off of the advice that you've given tonight. On behalf of Bolu, I say again, thank you very much. And I hope you will join me tomorrow, same time, same station, Women Radio, same program, Adult Conversations. Thank you to the producer, Taiwo Adeleye, the engineer on duty, Blessing Inuma. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Good evening.
I know love sometimes hurts, but it's over now. 'Cause when you are around, everything just works. Baby, when you need a shoulder and your shoulder, even when it's getting cold, I'll keep you warmer. You don't really know how much that you do mean to me. We'll be together this time forever, no matter the weather. This time forever, we'll be together. This time forever, no matter the weather. This time forever. You don't even have to try to sweep me off my feet. When I'm having a bad day, you make me smile. I don't know how you get me to laugh, girl, you're funny. If there was any time I hurt you, girl, you know that I'm sorry. Baby, when you need a shoulder, I'm your shoulder. Even when it's getting cold, I'll keep you warm. You don't really know how much that you do mean to me. WFM.
Hey, movement to inspire and to break the culture of silence. Here is 91.7, the voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women. 91.7, the voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women. 91.7 WFM. 91.7.
Women Radio.
Every night on the party, every night. I feel like I am DJ Specs.